1994.
Okay, one more time.
This is Keatly Creek site, 1994.
Okay, thanks.
Repose beside you. This has been excavated already. You see, takes probably went right across, eh? To this part.
If I was thinking I could have charged them batteries and something.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh,
Want to go down there, Des, to show how big it is?
that's when it first started to.
Mm-hmm.
They had bigger crews then too, what, 14 or?
Look at these guys.
There's a lot of basalt flakes there. They just leave them there, the ones they don't want, they just want to.
They want you really nice ones, eh?
Yeah, the ones that are that's their last big crew here. About 14, eh? All digging here side by side. That's where they found that deep head.
Oh.
Dogs were more in the middle. Fish cast, I think, was from that side. So.
Good morning. We're here with Desmond Peters, an elder from Tisquilach. He's going to give us a description of the Keatly Creek pit houses. Take it away, Des.
Right from here, we start on the left-hand side to the border of the pine trees. It carries on right, going towards the mountain, past that hump over there, and you gradually go to the next level. There's small ones up there. They're either cache pits or just for one person, and then you come down to the base of the hill, and from then on it goes all the ways around back this way to the edge of that one, back this way, and all that area there has pit houses. They number from 60 to 100, and it goes right down into the trees there and down towards the road. And even in the creek that has gone underneath it, that there are pit houses in that area and that's overgrown with trees.
Marcel.
But nevertheless, it's known that these people disappeared one time or another, and where they went, no one knows. And why did they leave is a question. And it still remains to be answered. But the evidence that they had once lived here is to 4,000 to 5,000, more or less, in between there. And due to their artifacts that are found, and then on, that's how they determine. They are still haven't actually analyzed the Keatly Creek. There remains a mystery.
Good morning. We are here with Desmond Peters, an elder from Tisquilach Reserve. He's going to give us a description and an explanation of the Keatly Creek pit house site, which is below us here. Okay, Des?
And starting to my left here, that's where the houses actually start. Some in between the trees, it goes around the back, and there's a small hump there, and all through that area to the base of the hill. Then you go up to the top on the flat, there are small ones there, for they're either caches or just a one-person house. And down below, as below the ridge there, as you follow it down towards the creek, there's pit houses all the ways along, also in the creek. The creek bed there are some, and then as you gradually go right down into the trees, down further into the creek, and you come all the ways back in this one large pit-like, and it's all houses. And the people that lived here, we're still trying to find out. They haven't analyzed it, why they left and where they went. It's unknown. And covering the area, we'd say about 60 to 70 acres square, and also that there's 60 to 100 houses that were here. And that remains a question. It's unknown to the present. And so it had not been analyzed by the archaeologists, and we're still trying to find out the whereabouts the people went.
Actually, maybe the range of sizes of the pit houses?
Well, the small cache pits are about, we'll use feet, 10 feet across, and some are 25 feet across, and some are about 65 feet across, and they range from about 3 feet to 8 feet deep as the biggest ones. That's the one about 60 feet across. And some that were that large had been used more than once. Because at one time, they'd burn the inside during the spring when they leave, and then sometimes it catches fire and it collapses, and then they just build another one over the top. And this is according to the archaeologist from Simon Fraser, Dr. Brian Hayden, and all the people that worked here that since '68. That's when they first noticed it, and then '88 when they actually did their digs here. Maybe 1,000 or more, even to say 2,000, and according to the size of the pits. And the evidence of all the food that was brought here, and the fish and the type of fish, the dogs, goats, sheep, and deer, all types of animals. So that's up to date anyway.
Okay.
Okay, we're here on July 13th.
Yes. No, 14th.
July 14th, 1994. We're doing an interview with Desmond Peters Sr., an elder from Desquilach. He's going to be explaining to us the process of making pit houses, as they're doing here in Pavilion.
In starting of the pit house at Pavilion, first we chose a location. The location inside Bill Edwards' apple orchard. Jiflet uitgenomen de twee gaat, hoe een koos east kan. Let it build the apple shots at cold numbers. He let it put us in 12 to twee gaat. Killa. This is where we measure the land first. And I'll give you another one for the backhoe. Brian Hayden said since the ground was disturbed that we could use a backhoe to dig it out because the dirt was removed from the top, all the surface. So there was no harm in using a backhoe. So, and after using the backhoe, and we dug the the hole in the ground, the circumference and everything, we decided we should put the uprights up first. Niet lijst planten een acht niet los voor meisje lati over staatselijk gepaald en hoogste east kennen. Upon getting the uprights up, we decided to peel some rails for the stringers, as we call it. Niet is dat nou ook gewoon lati teach elk schaap, niet is wat at die schaats moeten plannen wat schap lati kasten te teach what. Here we are. Jeff, they're pushing a stringer up to put on top of the cross piece, since we need 4 of those, and they go in 4 directions of the Pithouse. He's done already. Jeffrey will kicken as niet in Kutsen schoos de east gonna. He's at the ocean tagments at the to me where Nishi's was in Kaklastum to the east gonna. Right here, Jeff and I are peeling the posts for the uprights, and they're spruce, and that's the only tree we'd get at that time. This there was all full of his scrap, took his quam caslati, his scrap and his saw on him. In this picture, Jeff and I are putting the posts up into the ground with the cross piece on top. This is the skipper was scrapper, this is was a hojinis. Here we are getting the help from Henry Fenton Jr. and Jeff. They're putting up the posts. This Henry Fenton Jr. What is Jeffrey Edwards lady. You hold a skit. Here, Henry and I and Jeffrey are putting up a staging so we can put the cross pieces. You can look at Henry Fenton's lady or Cormac, which could stash a clatty meisje me katal. Jeffrey, Henry, and I again are still working on our staging for putting the cross pieces. Jeffrey with his Henry or Newfoundland with his age, a lady, Corm lady, which gets quite a matter and meisje me katal. There's Jeff there securing the stringers that are going up for the corners. This lady meisje goes loot a katal and gelati goes stasler. Was can lady let it pop so then killer at the meisje me katal and I'm just standing there watching how they're putting the cross pieces up. These are the cross pieces I was talking about in the other picture. This is out in the picture was highlight. Jeffrey is working on the cross pieces down there in the hole for support. Well, that's Jeffrey was meisje as he could out and this was Steli his ship. There's running in on a tractor and a wagon. That was our means of hauling our poles. Well, Eddie running into the tractor for the wagon. His lady says, "Who can me? He takes all of us gap." Jeff Edwards are securing the cross beams for the Pithouse. Well, Eddie's Jeff meisje en die schwijskus kapotje. He's geteld and gelati the east gonna. It's where we put the cross pieces on, and we're just starting on our way around. Is it geteld and gelati were meisje en minster kost dakum zanamies. Now this here is where he shows that we're starting to go around and round on the poles that hold the uprights. Nisi there and kushkitlakas and zanam kaneti to jivkas nisi kitsalp and cha. This is where we're starting to put all the poles that go around again, but in a different fashion because they're kitty cornered. These kind of kitsalp and ete ich stilet and akwas stoch ete and zanam. This is where Jeffrey is making a ladder for the Pithouse. Slako uskjes was Jeffrey was quarter and quadrant and that. This is where the poles that are complete around, and we're starting to work on using narrow poles for the roof now. Then chukun zerum the ktsalt na nisi actually there were elkten sleti the eastern skadske. Here we see where the woman's entrance is, facing towards water, and the men's entrance goes through the top. Nisi chelle leti the utre smosje duhakam khoise kaiwa. This shows that the completion of the poles that go around crossways. These generous halalati gets out the plan on Zanam and these push then Maisi for the script lati. This shows where the Pithouse where the poles that are upright, narrow poles for the covering. These generous halalati deep Alpha Jagab Nitis was Huskins, the east kana. These are the poles that cover the Pithouse, and at the bottom you can see the pine needles. Nitis and a plan was Huskilati in Titka Alka Jagab, Leti ordinary Etzelskawi Kama. In this picture it shows myself spreading out the pine needles. This is where the poles are the narrow poles are straight up and down, and it shows you a pile of pine needles at the bottom to be spread out. This one it shows Andrew and Mike. This channel is Halalati were Titranita she Kama Andrew with his Mike was first planning no good to hold it.